Hello and welcome back to Rule 1 Railways. My name's Nathan and today we are taking a look at a little narrow gauge railway that I've been tinkering with for the last few months. This is what I've been doing to keep myself occupied. We are here at Vannaheim. It's supposed to say Port Vannaheim, but that won't actually fit on the little sign things there. But just pretend it says Port Vannaheim. We're going to be driving Maid Marian and a couple of coaches up the line. I haven't built... It's not a very long railway, but I am quite proud of what I've managed to achieve. So before we get started, I'll just kind of show you around a bit. So here's the port kind of area. It's a little port with a canal, as demonstrated by this little loco here. I can't remember what kind it is. Very cute little thing, just kind of to demonstrate what a port is. I'm sure you know what that is. We got cranes and stuff everywhere, and some cargo waiting to be taken away, waiting to be exported places. And most of the scenery on here, especially the narrow gauge stuff, is actually from the new Bala Lake Railway by Fourths Games, I think, which is also where... Oh dear. That's a bit of a predicament. I wonder who put that there. It was me. Yeah, so some of the kind of industrial buildings come from a freeway route, which I'll link in the description if I remember. It's a pre-grouping railway. It's quite good fun. So why don't we go for a drive? I'm already clicked on the loco. I knew that. Right. Full forward. Brakes are already off. I'll have a tiny bit of blower. And I'll stick some coal in there. Stick some shrimps on the proverbial barbie, as it were. I haven't driven these engines in a long time either, so I don't really know how much coal I'm going to need to put in. But I'll probably put in about 114 pounds. Or so it goes up to 114 pounds. There we go. So now we can get started. Drain taps are open. This is just a test train, so there's no passengers, so we can just go whenever we feel like it. Huzzah. And indeed, hurrah. So, I haven't really decided on a location for this railway yet, but it is called the Ellis Valley Line, or the Ellis Line for short. Named after a very dear friend of mine from a very long time ago, whose surname was, well, Ellis, surprisingly. Decided to name it after him. I have references to him in my other railworks routes, but I thought it would be kind of nice to actually name a proper railway after him in his honor. As I say, I don't know where it's set initially, and I'm currently speeding. My railway, so it's my rules. No one tell the RAIB again. So the initial reason that the railway was built was to serve the community. There were some mines further up the valley. There's a lead mine, a couple of stone mines or quarries, however you want to call them. And the railway was used for transporting the goods down the valley to the port and then back up again, obviously. Because you can't get wagons to go uphill by themselves, normally, unless you happen to be a wizard. So at present, the route is not actually completely finished. It goes up as far as Dotty's Rest, which is where our destination is for this video. And if you've been paying attention, Dotty's Rest is the name of my narrow gauge model railway layout. Yes, I did in fact make Dotty's Rest twice. Because I'm that much of a fucking nerd. So as we're going along here, very quickly going to put myself back in the cab, shovel a bit more coal in. I want to talk a little bit about why things on the YouTube channel have changed. Why is it no longer NK Productions? Why have I changed the name? Well, initially, when I started this YouTube channel in whenever that was, I don't know, 13 or 14 years ago, I envisioned it as being a place where I could make videos about railways. Real trains, virtual ones, model ones, and anything and everything in between. And over the last decade or so, that kind of evolved into creating this sort of what used to be a variety channel. And that was good, that was fun. That was fun for me to do. But I started noticing that the variety type videos weren't performing as well as the railway centered videos. And I realized that what I should be doing is making videos for my core audience as well as trying to attract a new audience. So this year moving forward I should say, I'm trialling making this a railways only channel, hence the new name Rule 1 Railways. And Rule 1 being my railway, my rules essentially. I'll run what I want, I'll buy what I want, it's my railway. That's the kind of attitude that I want to have towards this YouTube channel. But we're going to concentrate it on the railway stuff, because that is where my core audience lies. And also, I can still use the railway centred videos to attract a new audience as well, if I structure it carefully. So this video is more for my core audience. Hello guys, very happy you're still here. Please don't leave me, I have abandonment issues. And if you're new here, hey, what up? This is kind of what I do. So what sort of new things can you expect from this channel as we trundle along here? Well, much more virtual railway content, at least in the short term. Because as you can't see, because I've got the green screen behind me, I'm still trying to move house. I still live in the same place I was before. The eviction fell through, which I'm so happy about. So that does mean that in the meantime, model train videos will simply just not exist anymore. The layouts and the trains have been packed away. Most of them are in storage, ready and waiting for if and when I get a new place to live. But, however, that does not mean that I am kind of done with model railway content entirely. I do have plans for a new layout. And that layout will feature heavily in a video series. A railway or a layout building series, which is something that I've never really done properly on this channel, so that's something I'm excited to try. Because I've built many railways over my time, both model and virtual, and I'd like to try and stick to a series to try and get people to come back on a regular basis to watch the content that I put out. So Marion here is doing a very nice job. She's a very, very attractive little loco, I have to say. The modeler who did these, a fantastic job. Nice hooter as well. Very nice. And we are going to be attempting to stop at this station here. Now the Barlow Lake locos don't have traditional train brakes. They do have train brakes, but on the Barlow Lake Railway themselves, they don't actually use them, because the line is basically flat the entire way. So they just use the handbrake, which I will be attempting to do. Not very good at it, so we'll see how this goes. But there is an emergency vacuum brake. Or I think it's air brake actually, I'm not quite sure. In case things go wrong. So as we get to these bushes here, I'm going to shut the steam off. And hopefully we'll coast into the platform and I can slam on the handbrake and everything will go well. So steam off, full forward, drain taps open. Fingers over the handbrake key. Stick a bit of water in to keep the loco quiet. Might need to open the regulator a little bit to keep going, or maybe not actually. I might have nailed this. Oh no. It's the Phantom. Right, there we go. Handbrake is going on, you can see it moving in the cab there. Nice and gentle. And I believe that's on full now. Yeah, there we go. We should be on the level as well. Well, just touching the 1 in 140 kind of at this little station. So Oh, that's a big scary roof. So as you can see, this is King's Watch Station. So named because of this strange looking building over there in the distance, which is not a castle. It is an abbey. That is from the Malmesbury branch, which I was not impressed with. You can find that video on my channel as well. But the history behind this place is that when people first started kind of exploring the area in the sort of the Edwardian sort of early Victorian era, they didn't necessarily know. Let's go and have a look. They didn't necessarily know that this wasn't a castle because there was no record of it. So they just presumed it's a big building made out of stone. It's big and tall and grand and wonderful looking. It's probably a castle. So I expect there was a king what lived there once. And it watches over the valley, hence the name King's Watch. So let's get our fire built up again. You can see over here. Building up and up and up. Still got a blower on, just a tiny bit. We don't need it on too much. Because we have a very short but steep climb coming out of the station. You can't really see it on camera, but it does go at one point. I think it's this section here. 1 in, I think, 40 or 1 in 50. There was mining subsidence here. The ground got very soft. Wasn't at all because I forgot that I wanted a station here and panicked and had to re-level the track. Not at all. Right, handbrake off. And we start moving off. So if I keep this open, down here you'll see the gradient increasing very, very quickly. This is actually the steepest section of line. 1 in 80. Hence why we needed all this steam. Because while we only do have 2 coaches on, they're very heavy. Yep, there you go. And the incline gets a lot steeper as well. 1 in 42, there you go. 1 in 40. 1 in 41. And then it levels off a little bit. Back to 1 in 100. And as I say, that was necessary to get the station in. Because initially I built the station on an incline. I forgot I needed to build a station. Built it on an incline. Found that the incline was too steep for the brakes to hold the train steady. So, oops. Had to redo it. Dotty. Try and keep it steady as we go along this little rock section. I do quite like this little rock section. I just kind of wish that there was a different, like, rock texture available in the game. Or rock, what do you call them, assets in the game. Because the ones we've got are kind of old and tired and a bit overused, but it's the only thing we've got, so we don't really have much choice in the matter. But it does look good. Big rocks and a tiny little train at the bottom of it. It does look pretty cool. It's very Welsh, even though this railway is not actually set in Wales. If we had passengers, this is the view they would have right now. Which I think is quite cosy. I don't remember where I got these coaches from. They just kind of appeared in my asset list, but I do quite like them. NWNGR. I don't know. I don't remember, but I do really quite like them. The noises are quite good. It's got a flange squeal. There's also just a generic kind of squeal that I would guess is maybe the couplings, or the coupling springs between coaches, maybe, or maybe it's the suspension. I don't know, but I like it. I like it a lot. So we're coming up to Wicklyn, which is one of the stations, and Wicklyn Road Crossing. It's very laggy here. I haven't worked out why. I think it might just be the concentration of assets in this area. I don't really know. Now this crossing is ungated, so as per runaway regulation in the area, you have to stop accelerating down to about 6 miles an hour. And check the crossing. Which is clear. Quick blast. And then we can get the train moving again. Because it's ungated, we don't want to accidentally run anyone over because the paperwork would be enormous. And also, we don't want to hurt people. Also that one. Mostly that one. So accelerate back up to line speed as we approach Dunraithe Waters. I incorrectly said that Wicklyn was a station. It's not. Wicklyn was one of the station name ideas that I had. And I ended up calling this one Dunraithe Waters, but I called the road crossing Wicklyn. But I was going to call it Wicklyn. So I was kind of right. Honestly, Mango, I built the railway, and I don't even know what the names are. And as usual, we'll stop here and have a little look around. And hopefully, as we approach the station closer, the lag goes away as well. So everyone won't be getting motion sick. A quick toot toot. There is a foot crossing at the end of the platform here. Steam off, regulator full forward, and get ready on the handbrake. Now, as you can see, I was going to make this a double platform face, you can see here, but I ended up putting a wall on it instead to make it only a single platform with a kind of a run round on this side. I anticipated stopping in front of this water. No, I've gone too far. Yep, that's working now. You can see here. Come back up again. 130, 135, 140, 150, and we're done. Nice and simple. So, you can see the lag has gone away. It's nice and smooth now. Let's have a nosy round. So, this is Dunraithe, which is a play on a name in Scotland. There's a place called Dunraither on the Port Road. And there's also a place called something else, Wraith, I think. So here at Dunraithe, you can see it's very much a rural place. We have one siding where the signalman has apparently been playing with the signals. Because that's showing the wrong aspect. There we go, naughty signalman. We have one siding which is very bumpy and lumpy when you drive into it. That was kind of on purpose. It's supposed to be not a very well maintained piece of track. Little good siding so the local people can, you know, they've got stuff here to put in it and everything like that. And this lady can't try to get a car back in the garage. And a very nice, what is that? Is that an Austin 7? Looks like it, something like that. I don't know where I got this from. I found it in the asset list. I think I may have downloaded some like freeware asset packs and then just forgotten about it. So I've got a lot of stuff like that, but I don't know where it came from. Dirt road, which is apparently a rather brave 40 miles an hour speed limit. A couple of old abandoned houses, which I do on every route because I just like it. It helps, you know, helps the world feel a bit lived in. Got some road signs. Someone's got a camper van outside their house. Someone lives in a caravan there. Very nice and cozy. A little, like an old ancient cemetery type thing between the railway and the road. Haven't decided what this is for just yet. I expect I did have a reason for it. Maybe they were railway workers. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't found my notes for this yet. As I always write a set of notes when I make a railworks route so I know what's going on, but I can't find them. So, yay. And then, of course, we have Dunraithe Waters itself. Spoilers, where the name came from. So, Dunraithe Waters is a massive-ish kind of lake-stroke reservoir. You can see it is actually very stupid down in the bottom, but that was because I didn't, you know, I wanted it to look deep, nice and, you know, like depth, where you can see the land drops off very quickly and then just goes to dark blue. I could still see the terrain underneath it, so I just thought, dragged it down. So it's very deep. Looks a bit stupid under there, but don't look under there. Pretty simple, really. Just don't look under there. It's like the bed. You never look under the bed because that's where the monsters live. Dunraithe Waters is fed by a river, or a stream, which we will cross later on up here. It is a very high water level. You can see it's creeping up on this this sort of dippy bit here. And I was going to have this area all the way down as a kind of floodplain, but there's nowhere that you can see where the water drains. But it does pop out. None of this is visible from the railway, so I don't know why I did it. And the river is flowing the wrong way, but you can see it pops out of a very, very well-built, realistic, what's it called? Is it a dike? Is that what underground rivers are called? No, it's I do know it. Leat. It's a leat. There you go. What is a dike? It's a river. I know it's a river stream type thing, but I don't know what the specifics are. I can't remember. Maybe that is a dike. I don't know. But we'll call it a leat, because I know what that is. Gonna chuck a few more rounds of coal in. We don't really need it as we blow off, but it won't hurt. Probably. Lovely bit of camera work there from yours truly. I thank you. I thank you very much. My skills are available for hire. They're not. But that will be fun. The loco had a drink, so I'm going to have one too. I'm drinking Lilt, because I'm fancy. Or if you're American, soda. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's called Fizzy Pop. Get it right. Anyway, off to thank Nathan. I forgot my own name then. I nearly called myself Nathaniel and I never called myself Nathaniel. Ugh. No, Nathan is my preferred name. And if you don't use my preferred name, I will punch you in the face with a chair made of steel. Twice. So you can see there is the waterfall bit. You can hear it too. I apologise if anyone now suddenly needs to go for a pee. Apologies. Oh, but look at the cute little train on top of the hill. Oh, lovely. Hi. Oh, it saw me. It didn't really work, did it? But there we go. We have fun here. Well, we try. So yes, this section of line is a lot more open and a lot less tree-ified than the previous section. I like my railroad routes to be varied in the scenery. I don't like them all kind of looking the same. I used to fall into that trap many, many moons ago. If you saw my video, I forgot what I called it, video where I looked at a railworks route that I built probably over a decade ago at this point. I think it was called Trip Down Memory Lane, something like that. The video. Where I looked at a railworks route that I built years ago and... well... to say that it wasn't very good is an understatement. It was, and I quote, shit. I started it a very long time ago. I didn't really know what I was doing at that point. I was still kind of just playing with the route editing tools. You can see I'm still not perfect. The river is up on an embankment. That's not at all realistic. In the slightest. I need to raise the land up on the other side of it a little bit, but I just haven't got around to doing it. I've been busy with other things, like trying to move a fucking house. And speaking of life in general, how has everyone been? It's been a while since I've been here. It's been about 3 or 4 months since I last made a proper video. Might have even been 5 months. I can't remember. I made another Emma Blackery advert the other day. You should totally go and check that out. It's the video before this one. Go check it out. It's good fun. First I've made in a long time. Is the gradient increased? No, we'll just get a bit slow. Ah! We have 112 PSI. That's probably not going to help. Where's all my steam pressure gone? Fucking out the chimney and into the sky, that's where it's gone. See, the red mark up there is where our working pressure is, 120. So we are 10 psi below that mark. So let's get leveling. I'm also still at 66% cut off. That is also not going to help. Why didn't you guys tell me? Oh, you see that steam pressure rocketing up now? Look at that. Wow, we're already back in the green. Ah. I didn't notice. Mango, you should have told me. It's your fault. Rude. So, I sincerely hope that everyone has been well in my absence. As we hit this 1 in 80 gradient. We're near blowing off point, so that's good. We've got the steam to get up the other side, which is fantastic. I hope to be making videos on a somewhat regular basis. Again, I don't yet know what the upload schedule is going to look like. I may keep it the same at once a month, or I may increase it to twice a month, plus however many adverts I can think of. I've got a few in the works, so I'm still writing some ideas down. Plenty of flange squill around this curve, which is odd because it's not actually that tight a curve, but whatever. I'm going to let these coaches express themselves however they want to. 'Cause I'm big on that. I'm big in general, but it's a fat joke. Laugh. Thank you. We now approach possibly my favourite section of line. Yeah, at Mulligan's Bridge, just before Renwick. Now, I'm going to have to be very quick. But if I get here, hopefully you can see why I'm such a fan of this particular view. I think it's a really pretty scene. And we'll pause here and we'll have a quick look around. So you can see we've got the stream. This is the same stream that we've been following up the valley. And it crosses underneath the railway in this, now that I come to realise it, very kind of North American inspired bridge scene. But honestly, I kind of think it works. Because it's a narrow gauge railway and I think it's fine. It's a very nice narrow gauge, it's a very nice bridge asset. Again, I don't remember where I got it from. I don't remember anything anymore. I think it's a nice asset. It's a bit blurry if you get up too close. So maybe don't do that. But from a reasonable distance, you know, it's pretty good. And then we've got some people paddling. They're doing a bit of sunbathing. And we have a swimwear model doing a bit of a photo shoot as well. And a gap in a wall that I still need to fix. But hopefully you'll agree that that section is quite good looking. It's my favourite section so far. I'm quite proud of it. It's a what I call a feature point, which is something that I learnt to do on Railworks routes, and indeed my Mulder Railway layouts a very long time ago. Because realistically, you can't put crazy amounts of detail everywhere. It would be nice if we could do that, but from a practical point, you just can't. Bits of detail in specific places. In the station area, by the river bridge, stuff like that. Which is what I do on Railworks routes as well. Points of interest. And it doesn't help when Railworks doesn't load the grass textures properly. There we go. I don't go any further than that because they don't render in that far ahead anyway. So what I will be doing, I will be putting, I'm about to get out of this bush, I will be putting a big line of trees along the top there to kind of fence in the forestry area. So this is Renwick. Okay, I could take another quick pause and take a look around. This is Renwick. This is their steam generator. This is what gives them electricity because they are 100% off grid. It's a little stop-off point, as I said, for walkers if they need to get into town, do some shopping, or they fancy a day out when they're not hiking. They've got a little station, little place to get on. So this is the kind of the little overnight hostel place. I need to fix the ground here. You can see, quite to step up into this little house, and then you've got the kind of what would you call it? The manager's house for the hostel, and a tractor which has a trailer on and will give people rides into town when the railway is not in operation. And you can see from this height here, actually, the incline of the railway, which is this line here, is quite steep. It's very steep. Right, that's enough coal in that fire for the moment. The gradient changes a little bit here and there. So I'm gonna chuck some water in because that's getting a bit low for my liking. I must say, I'm very, very impressed with these locos. The Quarry Hunslets by... I'm pretty sure it's Ford's Games. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember properly. But they're very impressive little machines. In Railworks and in real life. They are my favourite steam engine in real life as well. So if we take a quick peek at the map, this was Dunraithe Waters, where the big reservoir is. This is where we are. This is where we are going. And this is where we started. You can see it's a fairly decent length already, but it will be getting a little bit longer. That's what she said. So we are motoring away now. Marion is getting a little bit carried away. And we also don't have a lot of steam pressure left, so a few more shrimps on that barbie. And hopefully that'll tide us through the other side of the tunnel. Probably, maybe, who knows. So I realised that I haven't actually explained the connection between this virtual railworks route and the real model railway over there, hanging on the wall that you can't see. The model railway, the real railway, inspired this one, and this one inspires the other one. It's all a bit complicated and kind of meta, but I hope that was understandable. They represent the same railway, but they do it in a different way. They share the same names, and the law is the same, and everything like that. It's just that the model railway is only a representation of one very small part of it. Whereas this virtual railway is all of it itself. So as you can see, we are approaching Tinker's Tunnel, where one of the original locomotives of the Ellis Line once got stuck in a heavy rainstorm. And yes, I'm very aware that I need to fix the tunnel sides here. It's a bit of a mess. And also, the roof of the tunnel kind of scrapes the top of the cab. Not good. Steam off, full forward, drain taps open. As we arrive at Dotty's Rest. Little bit of handbrake application as we roll in here. So this is as far as the railway currently operates, or currently goes. I haven't built any further up just yet. I've been concentrating on getting this section built first before I go any further with it. Get the coaches in the loop. Yeah, there we go. And I'll just slam the handbrake on kind of anywhere. Doesn't matter where we stop. Oh, and we're only just clear of the crossing. That's fine. Right. Time to shut the loco down briefly. So, blower off. Damper is closed. Drain taps are open. The handbrake is on. I can't put the brake ejector on because there isn't a brake ejector, so that will have to do. So, here we are then at Dotty's Rest. Please ignore these mountains here. They are incomplete. They will continue at the same height eventually. Just things I need to do. So this is relatively close to being exactly the same as the model of Dotty's Rest. even down to the strange point configuration at the junction at this end of the line. I was careful to put that in. Honestly, the rock face is a lot bigger than what it is on the model, and the mine area is very different to what it is on the model. Again, I've been, limited by what the game can do, and what things I myself can do, my own skill set within the game. I think it looks pretty good. You can see there's the old mine shaft buried in the rock face there, cut off so you can't get into it, which I think is very cool. And there's a pretty cool view out from inside the tunnel as well. An old wagon at the front. I don't know what this thing is supposed to be necessarily. In my mind, it's where they put some of the spoil from the mine, dump it in there to keep it, because it's a lead mine, so you don't want any lead hanging around outside. Dump it all in there to keep it safe. And they can take it out wagon by wagon and transport it away for disposal, but evidently at some point they used it for just regular rock, and it's spilled out underneath it. And this is like a winch, like a loco winch, for, you can see it's on its own rails there for moving up and down. It's intended for loco sheds, but I kind of figured that maybe it would be a good idea to put this outside the mine to load and unload big, heavy barrels and boxes of, like, dynamite or gunpowder, blasting caps, whatever they might need to get into a wagon to bring it into the mine with. Maybe they put their lunch boxes in it. I don't know. Or I suppose they could have used it to put wagons back on the track when they derail as well, potentially. As long as it derailed in this area here, like this tub truck did. That's not supposed to be there. Interesting. And there's lots of rocks and stones, and I've thrown some spare bits of track down as well. A little hut, which is kind of where I envisage they keep the gunpowder and the blasting caps or whatever. It's got a fireplace so they can keep it warm and dry, which is important for gunpowder because you don't want that to get wet or damp because it won't do anything. A little trackway going up the side of the cliff here. It doesn't actually go anywhere. It goes up to the top. It's a pretty cool view of the top of the valley though, which I think is pretty okay looking. Again, it's just a shame that the bloody grass textures don't render in at this distance. It makes it look terrible, and the incomplete mountains don't help either. So look kind of this way and squint a bit, maybe take my glasses off. Oh yeah, that's really nice. And then we just have a very simple couple of side-ins that the local community are free to use for whatever they want. It doesn't matter. There is a daily train service up and down the valley anyway. You don't have to book a train. The train gets in on the up direction only, that's important. And there is a couple of cattle wagons here. Then they will pick the cattle wagons up, bring them to market at the top of the valley, bring the wagons back down the hill to the port at the other end down at Vannaheim, where the milk churns, and in this case we've got some fruit and stuff here waiting for transport. Got some apples waiting for transport and stuff like that. Little cattle dock thing, very simple cattle dock, and a little kind of little wooden loading platform for vans and stuff. Coal safe for the delivery of coal to the local community. That's what this tractor's job is. And then the railway carries on under the road bridge and into oblivion. That's what the world looks like before I build it. It's just flat, nothing, and boring. So, with that said, that was the Ellis Valley Railway, otherwise known as the Ellis Line. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye!